Okay, 6 Mike Italy. Well, it's the Wild Whistler at it. Who is that Wild Whistler? I think it's a long delayed echo. Your signal going around the world or bouncing off the moon or something. Could be. That sounds like John. For once on a Monday night. K6MI. You're loud, you're clear, and you're first. Good evening, John. What happened? No class tonight, and I'm still pointed towards LA though, so you're off the back of the beam. So whatever you're doing is working. It's very loud. I'm pointed toward the Bay Area. Yeah, we got both areas covered then. Yes, you do. I'm having great fun. I haven't been up to DMO5 Sugar Bravo for 8 months, but and I had snow last weekend. But I will be up there for the June VHF contest, DM05. Yeah, that's good. I hear some chatter in the background here. I'm pointed toward the Bay Area. I suspect the boys are chatting away over there. Oh, okay. I was just looking for, let's see, when do the LA guys go north? That's down 10 at 7:45? Yeah, something like that, John, exactly, yes. Okay, no problem. Yeah, I'm having fun trying to design HF wire antennas that can withstand 150 mile per hour gusts, and maybe some VHF, UHF antennas that can withstand that rating. Well, we can build them for you, but yeah, that's VHF antennas are not too hard to get to stand up to that. You might have to put a sleeve in the boom, but everything else should be fine. Right. The elements just need to be stronger. Well, the wind won't bend a 3/16 rod. I think you'd have to be over 200 miles an hour before it would bend a 3/16 rod and keep it bent. So I don't think you got any issues there, but the boom can get hit from the side and can, depending on the length of the boom, can break at the boom to mast area. So you might want to think
think about beefing things up in those areas.
Okay, well, that's good points.
Anyway, it's just about 7:30, so let me see if there's somebody over in the Bay Area that wants to jump in here and say hi. We got John, K6 Mexico, Italy, looking toward Los Angeles. And this is Mike, K6 MYC, looking toward the Bay Area for check-ins to the 222 Bozo Net. Well, I heard some chatter earlier, but now I'm not hearing anybody.
I heard a little.
Oh, did you? Maybe it's coming out of LA. Who knows?
QRZ, K6 Mike Italy, K6 Mike Italy. I think it's Ralph, but he doesn't hear me.
Go south. I can try this. See if we can get Ralph in here. Come on, what's going on with this? Why is this? My rotor's not going again. I wonder if this thing is running on its own here. Maybe that's what's wrong. That's what was wrong, John. The antenna was pointed due north. Now I'm pointed toward...
Well, that's W6BQL.
Maybe he's trying to check in with me. Let's see, Ralph, are you on frequency K6TSK? K6 Tango Sugar Kilo. K6TSK, K6MYC with K6MI. K6MYC with K6MI calling. K6TSK DMO3 and standing by. Well, give him a call, John.
K6 TSK, K6 Mike Italy, and I did hear CW W6BQL in the background. K6 Mike Italy.
Now I'm pointed toward the Bay Area. KW6S, KW6S, K6MYC.
K6MYC, KD6S, okay.
Yeah, good evening, Fred. KD6S, okay. A little bit low on frequency, but I can live with it. Good evening, Fred.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. Yeah, the band's a little choppy up and down, but you got a strong signal tonight, so, and it's very windy and cold up here right now. It's windy and cold, so that's probably affecting the propagation.
Yeah, well, it's a little breezy here, not bad, but it cools down a little bit. We did get up to about 70 in the middle of the day, it said, maybe even 72, but it's cooling down now.
Yeah, it's cooling down here as well. That was a great transmission the last time. You can get on your frequency better.
swinging the antenna back and forth. What was the question, John, tonight? Not John, sorry, Fred. What was the question about tonight?
Oh, were you pulling some more weeds out today?
Well, I pulled a few weeds today, but mostly I was mowing. I've got the front acreage in front of the house to the east, to the west of me here. And the hillsides is very, very thick and dense. I've got some trees out there, and it's pretty steep. So I was trying to mow as much as I could so I don't have to weed eat a whole bunch around the trees. And I got a lot of weeds mowed, and it came out pretty good. I'm going to have to go in and now clean it up with a weed eater, but it'll be a minimal effort. So that's done. But and then I pruned a Mexican chenille that I had forgotten. So the last year's stems were still on it, and it looked pretty ratty. Next to the pool, I had forgotten it, and I cleaned that up. And that was pretty much the extent of my day, John. Fred.
Oh, very good, very good. Well, we had rain over the weekend. We got about an inch of rain. We got about a total of 1 inch, which was really nice. So everything greened up nicely. I don't have to water the lawn probably until Friday or this weekend.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, we were expecting an inch and a quarter, but it never materialized. We got a little bit of rain for about 3 hours, and then it stopped. It was supposed to rain all day Saturday and all night Saturday off and on, and it never did anything close to that. We got a total of 3/8 of an inch, so it was almost next to nothing. In fact, the stuff I was mowing today, the grass was about 2 feet high, and the ground was still dry as a bone. I was blowing dust all over. So the 3/8 of an inch rain never even got through the grass to the ground. Over. Did I lose you?
Well, the band's going up and down. You faded to nothing, and then you came back. I think the band is just really erratic right now. You went to zero. I couldn't even again. So it's just conditions, Mike.
No, you're okay over here, Mike.
I hear you.
The wind and the temperature change is probably playing havoc on the band right now.
Yeah, could be. Okay. Well, anyway, I said I just. The rain that we got was only 3/8 of an inch, and it didn't go down very deep into the weeds. The grass/weeds that I mowed today were about 2 feet high, and the ground was still dry. I was getting dust. When I got down to where the grass was down mowed, I was then blowing dust, so the dirt didn't even get wet at the base of the weeds. Over.
Yeah, too bad. You should have gotten some more rain. I was thinking you'd get more rain down there. But anyway, good to hear you tonight. Thanks for checking me in. I thought I heard Paul there earlier, but maybe it was my imagination. KD6SOK. Good evening, Mike, and have a great evening.
Yeah, thank you, Fred. 73s, and I hear Jim, W6PQL. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, howdy, and everybody's got a good signal over here. You're about S7, Mike, and Fred's a little bit less than that, but that's because we're all pointed away from one another, which is normal. Let's see, looks like the modulation's a little bit low. I may not have this thing turned up quite enough. Okay. No, it's okay, I guess. Or I'm supposed to have this, I think it's right about here. That's a little bit better. Anyway, nothing to report here today other than the same thing that Fred echoed. It's we actually got to 73 today, but it's 60 right now, so it cooled down pretty rapidly. It's going to warm up, though. Tomorrow is going to be around 70, 75, heating up to the 80s by Thursday. So we're looking forward to it. K6NYC W6PQL.
Yes, so am I. It hasn't been too warm to work by any means. I had a light flak jacket on today, no sleeves, but the jacket is kind of cold on my shoulders. So I put the jacket on while I was mowing. Although we didn't have any terrible wind, it was blowing a little bit. Anyway, I mowed and mowed and mowed and mowed. Some of the places I had to mow 3 times just to get down to the ground. So I didn't have any grass that was still left. It was unmowed. It's so dense. I've never seen a year like this, and I've been mowing that hillside for 23 years, and I've never seen grass like this. Over.
Well, yeah, a couple of years in a row with above average rainfall. I don't know what you usually get over there, but I imagine you're pretty close to normal, aren't you?
I'm a little over normal, whatever normal is. Normal, supposedly, when I moved here, was about 11 inches. I have 14 and a half now. 14 to 14 and a half, and that's, but it didn't come in the right, way. When we get rain, if it comes at quarter-inch dribs and drabs, it doesn't do anything. We need to get the rains like you guys have been getting, an inch and a half at a time, and then it starts to make a big difference. But all my rain was, the biggest rain we got from May last year, this time, to now was the biggest rain we got was 3/4 of an inch one night. Everything else was smaller dribs and drabs, and it never adds up to nothing. Over.
Oh, well, it all counts. It may not soak in too deep, but it gets in there. That's why you got all those weeds and stuff. Because if you had a really dry year, I guess you probably wouldn't get the growth. Well, we've done pretty well the last couple of years. We had 3 light years in a row, but then we got double normal last year and 50% above normal this year. So we'll see what happens. It's the volcanoes out in the Pacific, I tell you. When one of those things blows, the following year we get pretty good rainfall. All right, that's all I got here. Go ahead.
Okay, are you gonna work Steve tonight?
Yeah, I work him on 222 and also on 1296. So tonight I'm going to look for him.
Okay, if we miss you on 222 here, you can tell me what you got on when we hook you up on 6 meters.
All right, it's a deal.
All righty. 7-3, and we'll see if there's anybody else in your area. Jim, WB6JNN, or anybody else on 222, Bozo Net, Bay Area, K6MYC.
Hello, this is Kilo 6, Whiskey India Sugar.
Oh, very nice signal, Paul. K6 Whiskey India Sugar, and I heard somebody else over there with you, but you were stronger than the locals from that area tonight. K6WIS, K6MYC, go ahead.
Sure, thanks, Mike. K6MYC in the group. This is K6WIS. Yeah, strong bounce pair signals tonight. You're 5x6, Mike, and good evening there, Jim. W6PQO, you also 5x6, and good evening, Fred. 5x3. So all around good signals from the Bay Area and bouncing off the Bay Area. Over.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, you're very solid copy here. No problem. Not bodacious signal strength, but certainly very steady. No flutter, no nothing. So very good to hear you, Paul. Did you have any other check-ins tonight? Over.
Oh, yes, I do. The normal Clear Lake guys, N1PPP and KA6OSX. Over.
Okay, very good. Thank you for that. All righty. Very good. Well, let's see. I heard another breaker underneath you, so let's see if I can find out who that was. That might have been Jim. Who was the other caller for the Bozo Net? K6MYC standing by.
KW6S.
Oh, okay. I'm way past you, but I'll come back your way. KW6S. Let's see here. That should be a little better. KW6S, K6MYC. Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, Mike. Yeah, boy, you really came up in signal there. So, yeah, must have a fairly sharp array. Yeah, not much going on here. Never did work Easter Island on 6, and they were complaining that they seemed to think they were in a black hole and they weren't doing very well either. So maybe I wasn't the only one disappointed. And and they're off the island now, I believe, or at least taking the antennas down. So I think that one's over with. So we'll just have to look elsewhere. I was looking down at South Pacific on 6 meters today and didn't manage to work anyone down there either. K6MYC, KW6S.
I started hearing 6 meters activity pretty early, about 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:30, something like that, whenever I cleared on 40. I went over to 6 meters with the antenna pointed east, and I was hearing signals. I was only hearing one side. I wasn't hearing the second half. The other day when we had Africa in, I could hear both sides, so I'm pretty sure I was hearing some of those had to be Africans. Again, I called CQ, this case on 125 for a while, and I got no answers again. So nobody's trying to work sideband under these conditions, which is sad, because sometimes the FT8 is quite strong, very big S meters, S5, S6, which is a big signal on 6 on my meter. So people are just lazy and they don't want to work. I don't know what they're trying to work, but they're not working me. Guess they don't need California. Anyway, Tom, we'll let you go, and we'll look for you on 6 meters after a bit. And of course, we hope to hear Lee in there as well. KW6 Sugar, K6MYC.
Yeah, very good, Mike. Yeah, I didn't hear the Africa. There seems to be a group on FT8 or kind of around Santa Cruz there. There's about up in the San Jose area that we kind of rotate calling CQ. I call CQ for a few minutes, and then when I quit, it seems like somebody else will call CQ for a while, and we'll watch to see anything pops up. And boy, today it hasn't. But I'm guessing you would certainly hear me if I was pointed at the East Coast. But anyway, I will be there on 6 a little later. I think Lee is trying to be, so we'll wait and see how that goes. K6MYC, KW6S, catch you.
Okay, 7-3 for now, Tom. Too bad about Easter Island. I'm sure you didn't catch him. That's a rare one. But it isn't a bad location. It's if people go there, it's easy to function on that island. There's all amenities. Power is there. I did moon bounce there, and Jimmy was there with me. W6JKV, and he operated 6, and we worked all over the place. And I worked quite a few people off the moon from there on 2 meters, so it was, but it has good facilities. 7-3, and we'll see you on 6. KW6S, K6MYC, going back to the Bay Area, Bozo Net. Anybody else?
Hello, Tom. WA6OIB, 226 is here.
Okay.
WA6AXX, no traffic.
WA6OIB, KW6S. Yeah, good evening there, Kent. And good to hear you on. KW6S, back to net.
Okay, real good. Good to hear you, too. It's been a while since the DX convention there. 7-3, WA6OIB. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, Roger. And good evening to you, Ed. What did I... Yeah, I guess I don't have anything. We confirmed what you had said. That was Forbes information about the Mississippi COVID information and all that. We got the same thing that you got on Forbes. And then there was other slightly different results, but they were not all that bad, but it was one of the worst states, and a lot of states in that area, all in that southern area, were not very good, very high rated. Lots of COVID deaths and so on, or deaths from something. Probably lack of COVID. I did get a call from Jackie Holiday today. That was a wife of Ken Holiday, the K of KLM, who's been gone for about 7 or 8 years now. But Jackie had a sad tale. She's been in pretty good health. She's got some bad ankles, but otherwise she's been doing fine. But because she was doing some volunteer work at one of the schools, they said in order to work with the school, you must take the COVID shot. So she had one a long time ago and never had anything after that. She didn't feel that she needed it, but she took the second shot, and by 1 o'clock in the morning, she was paralyzed in bed. She couldn't get out of bed. She was stuck in bed for 4 hours. I think she finally got out enough to make a call to 911, but she was paralyzed from the waist down, or maybe more. She was just in bad shape. It scared the hell out of her. So she's not a fan of the shots, needless to say. Anyway, she had a bad reaction, and I guess she's hasn't recovered fully yet because she can't drive yet, and her kids are having to take her to the doctor. I don't know. She didn't want to talk about it. She didn't offer much. She's such a good spirit and such a positive person that she just puts her head down and bores ahead and makes the best of it. She had sent me a nice birthday card, as she does every year, for my birthday, and I called her, and I was sad to hear that she had problems. Anyway, just another one of those long stories of the COVID issues. Anyway, you probably had temperatures in the 70s today and some high winds. Now it's starting to cool. It cooled down here too. Right after dinner, it seems like it got cold. We were in the low 70s today, and all of a sudden I was outside a minute ago, or 10 minutes ago, and it was nippy again. WA6AXX, K6MYC.
Okay, that went up to 59 today, and it'll be warmer later in the week. So, yeah, there's no question that there's some incidence of vaccine injury. Let's see, in some cases there are allergic reactions. In some cases there may be contaminated doses, or maybe the injection wasn't done properly. But I know I'm a fan. I think I've had 6. And I'll get another one before we plan to travel. So that's my strategy. Okay, very good. Well, thanks for the info. Sorry about your friend. So the 4-hour paralysis, did that cover completely?
Well, I couldn't tell for sure, but I know that she can't drive. So I suspect she's still got residuals of it. She can't. She's got some problem with walking and maneuvering. So she can't get to the car or do anything with her car. She has to have her kids take her to the doctor. And she was just about to leave for the doctor, so we had a short phone call, but she had to leave as the ride that was going to pick her up had arrived during my phone call. Over.
Okay. Well, sorry to hear that. There's also the case, that with hundreds of millions of people getting the vaccine, maybe several times, and like hundreds of thousands or millions of people having medical incidents totally unrelated, that they can coincide sometimes. So let's see, something is not causation. Something is not causation. Could be, but anyway. Sorry for anybody that's experienced that. Okay, K6MYC, WA6AXX.
Okay. Anyway, let's see. I don't know if there's anybody else here. I expected to hear Jim in here, but maybe he's suffering from the cold weather here. WB6JNN, are you on frequency, Jim? Maybe we'll catch him later. Anybody else? K6KLY, anybody else for 222 Bozo Net before we go away? K6MYC, Bay Area.
Ralph has checked in down 10.
Well, Ralph has checked in. Thank you very much, John. I appreciate that. Okay. Good evening to you, Ken. Did you copy my comments about Jackie Holiday? I'm sure you did.
Yes, I did. I've been waiting to get in here. I was going to let you know I worked Ralph as well. In fact, I worked him before John did. But anyway, I am here.
I am sure you are. I can hear you. Good deal. And sounds like I tried for John, but we did it right at the hour at the 7:30 point on this frequency. I called him just on the outside chance that maybe he was listening here. John thought he might have heard him, so we gave him a call, but at least he didn't come back to me. John said he was hearing him, but he wasn't coming back to him. So might have had the antennas in a different direction there. All righty, one more call to the Bay Area. Bay Area, 222 Bozo Net, K6MYC. Anybody else? Awfully quiet. Okay. Up to Ken. Let's see if Ken's going to function tonight. How about it, Ken? N6 Radio Oscar, N6RO, K6MYC. Any copy up there?
Oh, yes. 6MYC, N6RO. Everybody, that's 5 or so. I could hear you when you pointed to the Bay Area. Again, are you copy me over?
Yeah, I have to move the antenna a little bit further. I'm not sure if this thing is losing calibration or what. When I first turned the supply on, the antenna had somehow rotated itself to full stop counterclockwise all by itself. So there's something going on in my control box here that's fishy. So I don't know what's going on. And tonight it's acting okay, but it's also going and giving me error messages every now and then, like it doesn't want to start, and then the next time I push the button, it goes. So it's acting very sluggish for some reason, so something's not right somewhere. Anyway, hopefully it gets me through the evening here, and we'll look at it tomorrow and see if it's out of calibration again. I did have to run a complete cal on it before we could continue here, because it was pointed about north. And I was thinking I was pointed toward 150 degrees, and it wasn't. Okay. Good evening to you, and of course we'll look for you on 6 meters, Ken. N6 Radio Oscar, K6MYC.
Yeah, okay. Well, I've had similar problems with a lot of my rotators, which are basically the Alpha Spid Big Rack. In general, they work quite well, but once in a while the controllers get confused. Green herring controllers. Anyway, we can overcome them most of the time. One required a new motor and a rotator.
Boy, a band is terrible. You faded out completely on me, and I went looking for you again, and I...
Yeah, okay, you're down to...
You're still doing okay here, Ken?
Yeah?
Yeah, you're S8 here, W6OIB.
Yeah, well, I went past him. I should be back on him.
Okay. A louder than Mike. I think it's indication, rotor indication issue there.
Well, he said you faded out. I didn't hear any fade, but anyway, you've been solid here.
Yeah, okay. I'm pointed in my usual direction for you guys, just north of direct.
Yeah, I'd get you a little bit north of direct, too. Interesting. We must be bouncing off the same mountain out there. Okay, go ahead, Mike.
I'm going north of from direct also by about 10 or 15 degrees. Now, the guys in the Bay Area were right where they're supposed to be, so it may be just the band.
You're up again now, Mike.
Yeah, it's up and down. You go way up, and then you go way down, and I think that's indicative of a flaky side bounce path or something. Anyway, we'll look for you on 6. Maybe it'll be more stable, Ken. 73, Ken 6RO, K6MYC in the group.
Yes, definitely more stable. I'm working on my 6-meter situation when we're actually uncooked, but I guarantee you'll hear me.
Yeah, okay. Let me do Sacramento here. Anything from KJ6KFB, KJ6 Kilo Foxtrot Bravo, KJ6KFB, K6MYC. How about it, Darren? Okay, nothing so far from Darren. How about you, Bill? No, you said you wouldn't be on 220 tonight, so Bill's probably not going to be there. KO6KD on the outside chance that you figured out how to make it work, K6MYC. Nothing, okay. Anybody else while I'm pointed towards Sacramento for 222 Bozo Net, K6MYC? Okay, nothing heard. Paul, I wonder if you're copying us on the direct path there. K6 Whiskey India Sugar, K6 WIS, K6MYC. Any copy? Apparently not. K1YQP. I wonder if you're around these days, Fred. I haven't heard you for a long time. K1YQP or KE6ILX, K6MYC. Over. Okay, no response. I guess we'll go to the Bay Area. We'll go to the Nevada area. Nevada. Here we go. Okay. Let's see if we can get anybody in here. Larry, I wonder if you're in there tonight. N7 Whiskey Tango. N7WT. N7 Whiskey Tango, okay, 6MYC, calling and listening. N7WT, N7WT, or KE7UQL, Daniel. If you're in there, come on in. KE7UQL, K6MYC, over. Nothing from Daniel at the moment. I did work Daniel this morning on 40 meters. He joined us on 40 meters, Ken, and had a pretty good signal once we had the short skip join us. I was skipping over him in the early part of the day, but after about 8:30, he started to come up, and it was very good copy from Daniel up there in Carson City, or near Carson City. KE7UQL, K6MYC. Daniel, are you there? You hearing anything, Ken?
No, I haven't heard a thing.
Okay. Just want to be sure I'm not missing him. He said he would be here. I think I questioned him. He said he doesn't have the 1296 antenna up, but 222 was going to be okay tonight. So I'm surprised that he's not there. We may be a little early, but that would be the only reason he wouldn't be here. But if he's watching the stream, he would know where we are anyway. Very short list here on 222 tonight, about 12 check-ins. We're really hurting on 222 lately. I had 45 check-ins last night on 2 meters, Ken.
That's a good bunch.
Yeah, no, it was good, and it could have been a whole bunch more. There was a lot of people missing. A lot of regulars in our area here, AA6S and others, I don't know. You were there for the end of it anyway, so we got you on there. But and then 6BYH was in. There's several around the area that we haven't heard anymore. Of course, we missed John Silva, but he's been gone for some time. But then WB6COT we haven't heard from for a while. And we're not getting anything from Marcus because he's torn down. And I'm not getting anything from Daniel. Let's see, N7 Whiskey Tango or KE7UQL. KE7UQL, N7 Whiskey Tango, K6MYC 222 Bozo Net. K6MYC Bozo Net calling Nevada and standing by. Over. Boy, it's rare for both of those guys not to be there. Particularly Larry, because he always comes in on 6. I'm pointed up that way on 6, but if he isn't there on 222, he may not be there on 6 either. Richard is going to be there. Richard checked in last night, as you heard. Very quiet. I kind of feel bad for Bill in a way up there with KO6KD. He's limping along with this FT2000, which is not a bad radio, but he's so much in love with his ICOM, and it offers him a little bit better flexibility. He's got one of the Ukraine 222 transverters, which usually operates on 10 meters, and he's worried about blowing it up because even if he puts a switch in the HF line, there's only one line for HF, and it has a 10-meter IF. It only has one line going into the FT2000 for the HF bands, and he's worried about blowing up the transverter, so he isn't hooking it up at all. Seems like the best thing to do is turn the power down, and then when you go to HF, turn the power up, and then when you're done with HF, turn the power back down again. I can't believe it's that hard, and put a manual switch in there that switches over to the transverter or not. Seems like if you have to throw that switch, you at the same time must remember that you must turn the power up or down. Over.
Well, that's what I have to do here with this FT570 for the 220 and 6 meters, because 6 meters I run 60 watts into the linear, and I can only run 5 watts into the transverter, so I have to manage it.
Yeah, well, he just doesn't want to mess with it. He's afraid that he'll blow up something. Well, if you don't get on, you don't blow up anything.
Well, there is that school of thought. I don't agree with it, but that's one way.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, he's frustrated. It's going to cost him about $1,700 to fix his HF ICOM.
What happened to that?
Well, it's a classic example of the earlier versions of that particular model, 7710 or whatever it is, 7610. I thought he said 7710 or 7711 or something. Is there such a model?
I don't know. It's 7600 and 7610. Is it a 7610 he's got?
I think that must be it. It's a high-end one anyway. It's got 4 outputs on the back, and it makes it very handy for transverter use and stuff like that. But the finals fail, and it's been in the earlier models of those, in the earlier serial numbers, it's been quite a common failure. But it cost him $200 to send it to ICOM, $200 to get it back, and then 3.5 hours worth of labor plus a complete new final, and they don't want to give him any credit or any warranty or anything. So it adds up to close to $1,700, and he just can't afford it. He's on a fixed budget.
Well, that's too bad. Jeepers. Yeah, I read a little bit about that, but yeah, I've got a 7600 here. It cranks along okay. It doesn't have that issue.
Well, the one that he has makes 200 watts, and I think that's where they got themselves into trouble.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, anyway, he likes the 200 watts. He doesn't think anybody can hear him on 100 watts. Well, hell, there's so little difference. Half an S unit, I couldn't tell. He did get on for a few minutes this morning on 40, and he was fine. And Bob copied him up in Olympia, Washington, just fine. So, but he's just paranoid about getting on with 100 watts because he's so used to having 200. Over.
Well, doesn't he drive an amp?
Yeah, but he's not hooked up to do that. I don't know what the confusion factor is, but there's such a difference in the way you control an amp. I don't think there is, but he's confused by it or is daunted by it. He doesn't have his amp controlled by the radio yet.
I see. Okay. N7WT, did I hear you in there, Larry? WA60IB and K6MYC, over? I hear voices. Did you hear him?
No, I heard nothing here.
N7WT, WA60IB and K6MYC on 220, over. I don't hear anything now. I did hear a voice in there earlier. Might have been from someone, might have been one of the guys in the Bay Area or something. I don't know. Okay, well, I'm ready to go over to 6 whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I guess we can do that. And I'm going to move the antenna back and forth and make about 3 calls more here in different directions toward the north end. 7WT, KE7UQL, K6MYC. Anybody? When I got in the shack tonight, the rotator had gone all the way to full counterclockwise by itself.
Yeah, I heard you talking about that earlier.
I don't know what's causing that. I may just have to take this control box out. But if it doesn't fail, it's hard for the guys at the plant to find this kind of crap when it's intermittent. N7WT, I move it back a little bit more. N7WT, KE7UQL, K6MYC Bozo Net, standing by, standing by. I wonder if 6 meters is still open.
Oh, okay. It was open earlier, I guess. I'll go on over there. I'll see you over there. WA60IB, guess what?
Okay, I'm going over there as well. K6MYC going to 6 meters, 50.140. N7WT, KD6BQ, KD6BQ or N7WT, K6MYC calling on 6 and listening. I hear somebody in there, but it's very weak. Did you hear it, Ken?
Yeah, K86BQ. Got a good signal here tonight. K86BQ, WA60IB. We got you. Yeah, well, it's good to hear your voice, too. It's been a while. Yeah, very good. Well, you're about an S5, S6 here. No problem at all. WA60IB. You got it now, Mike?
Okay, I hear you, Mike.
WB6GGY, Bozo 884.
Yeah, I had the antenna. I thought it was north, but it didn't go north. It went to 90.
Yeah. Hello, Phil. Nice to hear you tonight. GGY, WA60IB.
Good to hear you, Ken. Sound great.
And BYH as well, 195. Hello, Mike. Hello, Ken. And the other mic, too.
Hello, Ken.
Boy, 3 mics. Well, 2 mics and a Mikey. Oh, well.
Mikes of America, it's a big club.
That's almost a straight house.
Yeah, but not full, Phil.
Not yet, anyway.
In some ways.
Here's 694.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, you sounding good tonight.
694. Good to hear you, too. WA60IB and the rest of the gang.
Yeah, I haven't heard Richard yet, but now the antenna should be around in your direction, Richard. Let's see if I can hear. KED6BQ, K6MYC.
Number 249, over.
Yeah, I got you now. I turned it north earlier with the automatic pilot, but it only went to 90 degrees. Maybe I'm misreading it. I won't blame the controller tonight. I might have done it wrong myself. Good signal. I did not hear Larry. Have you heard Larry tonight, Richard?
Negative. I have not. Haven't heard Larry since I've come back.
Yeah. Well, he should have been in there, and I didn't hear Daniel either. Daniel said he was going to be on. I worked Daniel on 40 meters this morning on our normal 7137 frequency at about 8 o'clock. And he was quite weak, but that was just band conditions. We were skipping over each other, and by 8:30 he was S7. So we had a nice contact with Daniel, and he said he would be on 222, and I don't hear him tonight. So I'm at a loss here. Anyway, good to hear you. Good signal. Welcome back, obviously.
Yep, it's good to be home, although I'm still falling asleep here. It's early evening, but my body says it's not.
Yeah, body clock's all screwed up. Typical.
Yeah, one of the unfortunate side effects of travel.
Yeah. There's ways around that, but you have to get real drunk.
Yeah, right now I think it's too late for that.
Yeah, I'm kidding. Well, let's see. Ben, I copied you. WB6GBS, good signal. I heard N6BYH, good signal. I hear Frank may not be in here tonight. He's got a very bad cold. Probably can hardly talk. He's got plugged up nose and a bad throat, so don't think Frank will be checking in with us, but he could surprise me. 711 is in here. Good evening again, John.
107.
Check in. K6MI. Hang on a second. Let me get Dane in here. 107, pretty strong signal. Dane, are you home or are you still up in Stockton?
No, we're back home.
That may be why you're stronger.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, we'll let you get on with the net. WB6JNP, 107 DM07.
Okay, very good. Who was the other one with Dane? I'm sorry, I got your number written down, but I can't read it. Who's the other one that just checked in here with John? I mean, with Dane. And 2 check-ins just in the last 30 seconds. Come on, who was it? Oh, for heaven's sakes.
K6MI did.
Oh, that's who it was. It was K6MI. Thank you, John.
Hi, John. KA6USY 1079 and Bozo 1100 just walked in the room with a 3-year-old.
That's Aaron checking in.
Oh yeah, I know Mike can hear me. I'm listening to myself come through his radio right now.
Oh yeah, no, you're loud. I'm just getting everybody written down here. Aaron, good evening to you, and good evening to Brittany in the background there.
Yeah, I need to work on getting her at least once on each band.
Yes, exactly. And get a long mic cord or a long tin can to talk into from 6 feet away from the mic.
Yeah, I'll crossband her over from 2 meters or something. K6USY.
Yeah, right. Anyway, let me get it back over to Ben. He didn't get a word in edgewise there. KWB6G GBS. No, that's not right. And I didn't get Phil. That's who I'm missing here is WB6GGY. Good evening, Phil. I heard you, but I didn't get you written in.
Yeah, good evening there, Mike. You moved on around, and you were almost 15 over 9, but you're back down a little bit less than that. Hey, Bozo 884, WB6GGY.
This is Ben, W6GBS. Hello, everybody. Everybody's sounding good tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Ben. And I got you, Phil. I was just trying to move the antenna a little bit more on you. That should be better, Phil.
Yeah, you're much stronger.
Yeah, we're still pointed due north. Trying to wake Larry up there. He's in the lethargy.
Well, signal's enough to wake up everybody in this neighborhood.
Yeah, right. Anyway, you're sounding good. We caught you, of course, this morning on 40. It was good to catch you at the end of the day there, or at the end of the group. We had quite a discussion in there this morning, and good to hear everybody. Nothing. Bob will not be in there tomorrow. He has patients. He has 1 day a week he sees patients, and for his psychiatrist. Doctorate keeps him busy. Keeps him out of trouble on Tuesday anyway. Anyway, Wednesday we'll be back, but I'll probably be on there in the morning for a few minutes. It's been bright and sunny, so I've been getting up early. I usually wake up by the sunlight, and man, was it bright this morning. And it was clear all day, too. It was a beautiful day sunny-wise. I didn't get... what am I hearing here? Oh, I guess it's Matt and Judy talking in the other room. Okay. Well, let's see. Who else do we have here? I'm pointed sort of towards Sacramento.
759 KR6MR.
Yeah, booming, John. Goodness sakes, you're loud. That's so wonderful to hear that big, strong signal. 759. KR6MR. You're in here. Go ahead.
Okay, I just hope it be like this tomorrow night. Hi.
Oh, wouldn't that be wonderful? What a surprise that would be.
Yeah, probably give us a heart attack.
Yeah, we did a floater balloon up in front of your hillside there.
Yeah, got to do something. I need to probably get a little more power and a preamp on the mast.
Yeah, that would help, but power would help more because you're probably going to hear me more than not. But preamp does make a huge difference. Boy, if I turn my preamp off, I don't hear half the signals that are in there. Partly because I've got a very lossy piece of feed line coming down from the preamp. I'm running a separate line back to save a relay and save a high power relay. I run a separate piece of coax back, and it's I think it's RG8X, so it's got pretty significant loss at 1296, but I've got enough gain in the preamp to overcome it. So but without it, I've got like 10 dB of loss in front of the front end of the radio, so it doesn't hear very well. Over.
Yeah, well, it'd be nice to at least run LMR 400 minimum.
Yeah, it would be nice, but I don't need to because there's no point to it. I don't normally transmit through that. I don't try to listen without the preamp, so you do it the easiest way, particularly when you've got 6 other feed lines up there. Over.
Oh, yeah, true, but I'm just looking at the line loss factor.
Well, as long as you set the basic sensitivity right at the antenna, then, and you have enough gain to overcome the line loss. I've got about 20 dB of gain in the preamp, and I'm still getting 10 or 11 or 12 dB of gain by the time it gets to the radio, so I don't lose enough to talk about.
Yeah, okay, that's good. I've got a lot of ideas. I just would like to find someone whose amplifier I could borrow to test for a week or two.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of amplifiers, Ken, are you still here?
Yes, I am.
Did you ever get Rob's amplifier fixed on 1296 yet?
Yeah, I did that last week.
Okay, I didn't know how much of a chore was that when that foil came loose. I hear you had quite a mess in there.
Well, yeah, I just rebuilt everything, the structurally. So, no, it's solid too. I beefed it up so he won't have that problem anymore.
Yeah, well, it was a prototype amp, and I'm sure Ken just tacked things together, not thinking that it was going to be in service for 2 or 3 years with people yanking on cords and stuff.
Yeah, did you get my comment on Gold Beach, Oregon?
Well, I heard that he was in there last night, but I don't know if he ever heard us. I don't know.
Well, you didn't hear my comment, obviously. This thing went into a split all of a sudden. I look over here and it was on the wrong frequency. It does that. I don't know why. He did hear you. Just could tell you're in there. Anyway, he's putting up another beam up a little higher, quite a bit higher, and we might make that path yet.
Yeah, well, that would be really exciting because I've tried with other people up there. Rich, KA6NBC, had a friend up there, a woman, I guess, that was on with quite a good station, and he took an amplifier up there and I gave him a big antenna. It was a 40-foot heavy-duty 2-meter antenna that was left over for something, and he did a favor for me, and we gave him that big antenna. I think he put it up there for her, but I'm not sure if that ever happened. But the point is, they heard us rarely a few times, and we never did hear them up there. Over.
Right, I remember the testing and that whatnot about a year ago, something like that. Yeah, well, we'll give it another try. He's only going to run at about 150 watts, something like that. But he did hear you in there just barely.
Well, maybe we can. I could try the moon bounce array. It's got more gain, and we could try that up there with him sometime if we can't get through on the big antenna on the hill, on the big tower. So we could try that, and that may be the answer. If we can get an upfade, at the right time of day or something, we should be able to make it. That would be really exciting to get him in. Thanks for the update, Ken. WA6OIB, K6MYC, still looking towards Sacramento and waiting for check-ins. Well, I don't know where Bill is tonight. He should be in here.
I've got to quit. WA6OIB. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, I know you do, Ken. Thanks for help, and thanks for the update on UKZ.
Bill might still be on one of the other nets, KR6MR.
Oh, is there other nets going on?
No, he has a different net every night on some frequency. I'll go up to 535 simplex, see if I can raise them.
Yeah, okay, and I haven't heard Darren either, but I don't know what the status on Darren is. Darren has been under the weather a little bit, but I think he's recovered now.
Okay, KR6MR QSY.
N6RO, I've got you, Ken, but I'm not pointed at you, but you're Q5, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to check in. I can't access my main antennas, and I haven't been able to trace the phone, so I'm calling you on my
copy. So let me move the antenna over toward you. This should be better, and I might get better copy on you now, Ken. It's distorted with multipath. Try it again.
Yeah, okay. I can't access my main antennas, the long boom antennas. So I'm on my 35-foot high 6M7JKV.
Is that what you're on now?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, it's a JHB, I think. The 7 elements, a JHB, what is it? The 6M11JKV, that's 50-foot boom, 6M11JKV. You probably don't have that one.
That's correct, yeah, that's a JHB.
That's okay.
If I'll check in later if I can find out what's wrong. Somebody might have recabled something here. It's very unusual.
Yeah, you're very, very distorted, very, very difficult to understand. It's very mushy. Sounds like RF feedback or something, but I can't be sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm struggling a little bit with your comments. If you speak slowly, I could probably get 100%. Anyway, we got the gist of it. And find on the 40-foot high 6M7JHV. And thanks for checking in. Anything else before we slide back up and see if we can wake up more people in Sacramento?
I gotta go first.
I didn't get that. Say it very slowly.
I'm going to go and have dinner.
Okay, I heard the word dinner. God, what's wrong there? Whatever they've done to that radio, they've got it totally screwed up. I'm sure you'll find it. 7-3, Ken, good evening, and we'll look for you tomorrow on 1296. N6 Radio Oscar in Oakley, K6MYC, Bozo Net, 6 meters.
W6PQL.
Okay, I might as well take you. W6PQL, I'm pointed too high for you, but it's close enough. And did you work Steve?
Yes, Roger. I did work Steve, and yeah, you were pretty good on the reflection there, but the band is a little less stable when you're pointed up that way. But that's it. I got Steve, and signals were not good. He was extremely weak, mostly on the waterfall, but we had a very short exchange. K6MYC, W6PQL.
Okay, very good. I got it. Just got him written in on the 222 log. Thanks, Jim. We'll talk to you tomorrow on 1296. Hopefully we get some pretty good conditions as the weather starts to warm up here. Over.
Yeah, that would be nice. We've had some pretty rotten conditions for a while. So, looking forward to that. See you later, Mike.
Yeah, well, I'm glad it's not just me. I keep thinking maybe something's deteriorating in my system, but I don't think so. It's almost every band is bad, you know. Where at least 2 or 3 directions out of 4 are bad. With bad propagation and all kinds of weird fading and dropouts. Just dropouts that go to S9 to nothing in about 3 seconds.
Well, I've got to do some work here, too. I've got to replace all of my antennas. They've been up there more than 10 years, especially the VHF ones, but the 1296 ones in particular have been up there more than 10 years, so I'm going to need to change everything out here probably. Not this year, but I imagine I'll do it next spring.
Yeah, well, you need to put up a 2-meter array that's got more than 7 elements.
Well, I did buy the, what is it, the 9? So I've got a 9 here. I just haven't put it up yet.
Yeah, well, that's a nice light one. I don't think that would overload anything compared to the 7. Maybe you can sell off to the 7 to another newbie or something.
Yeah, well, that's about what I can manage here, lengthwise.
All righty. I'm still pointed at about 300 degrees, so I'm off of you 13, 14 degrees, but that's still in the pattern of this antenna. All righty, I'll be back in the Bay Area. I still haven't gotten connected with about 3 stations in the Sacramento area, and then we'll get down to the Bay Area, Jim. Thanks much. W6PQL, K6MYC, going back towards Sacramento.
756.
756, there's the guy I'm looking for. You're one of the 3 stations we're looking for, Darren. Good signal here. We did not hear you on 222, over.
Meetings get in the way of my radio.
Something, I didn't get it. You said something is getting in the way of your radio?
Indeed, meetings getting in the way of my radio, and still haven't found my RF problem.
Okay, I just can't get what's getting in the way of your radio. Something, but I just can't get the words. You're not that weak, but I'm just not understanding what you're saying that's getting in the way of the radio. And I guess you're running, well, you're still running modest power, but I've always heard you. But were you on there at all tonight or not, over?
Negative. I'm still having RF issues here on 6 meters. Over.
Okay, still have 6 meter RF problems. What's that got to do with 222?
Oh, before with 222 I was having problems. What can I say? Work getting in the way of radio. Work, that is.
Oh, work. Well, that's not fair. Work should never get in the way of ham radio. Okay, very good, Darren. No worries. I understand how it goes there. Thanks very much for checking in here. And I was just afraid that I had missed you. Bill's not on either. Of course, he hasn't figured out that he can. He's afraid to hook up the transverter. Figures he'll blow it up with the FT because he doesn't have a dual port to have low power coming out one port and high power for HF. So he's afraid to hook up the 220 transverter to the HF output of the radio. So he's not on either. So that leaves us really, really light on 222 out of your area. We don't get anybody from San Jose. Well, from Oakley to Nevada, we didn't get anybody in Nevada tonight. So it was a complete blotto from Oakley to Nevada. Over.
I know he's got his situation right now. He'll get back to normal here in a little while. I'm just trying to stay ahead of the work curve. It's been crazy. The reasons it's crazy already. So now we have to get a reset before. So
Okay, I got most of that. You're dropping down to about readability 3 now for some reason. The signal was Q5 when you first called in. Big, strong signal, no big fades. Now we got a very, very slow fade, and you've been down the whole transmission. The last 2, you've been just above the noise. So band is really giving us trouble here, as it has been for about a month now. 7-3, Darren, and appreciate you calling in. Work notwithstanding. KJ6KFB, we'll see you Wednesday, K6MYC.
USL, shoots for Wednesday. Have a good one, Mike. KJ6KFB.
7-3, Darren. Okay, let me try Bill one more time here. Bill? You should be able to get FT2000 to work on 6 meters. Or is it they got the same problem on 6? You have only one port that's HF, and they call 6 meter HF. Do they call 6 meters HF, or do you have a separate output for on that FT2000 for 6 meters? KO6KD, K6MYC.
KR6MR.
Okay, go ahead, John.
Yeah, I sent Bill a text. He says, thanks, busy. I'll try to be there as soon as I can. So I don't know how long it'll be till he can get on the radio.
Okay. Well, I'm listening for Reading, but I haven't heard any CW. So Reading, if you're in there, give us some CW. That way I know you're hearing us there. Reading, I'm standing by. You're still strong, John. That's the best I've heard you in a long time here on this band and any band for that matter, over.
Well, that's good. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, aren't you seeing the same thing with me?
Oh, yeah, you're S9 plus some.
Yeah, it's funny because Darren was weak, much weaker than normal on 6 here, and of course I haven't got Bill as a reference, but Bill usually runs power, I think, on 6. I think he uses the ICOM, and then his HF amp also works on 6, I believe, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm going to take one more standby for anybody else. KW6T or N6RZJ can also get on 6. He surprised me the other day. K6WIS, are you there, Paul? K6MYC, calling and listening. I don't hear anybody else, John.
K06 Katie, I'm late, but I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Okay. Tell me the status now. Now, let me hear your audio. I don't hear anything wrong with this audio. In fact, if you didn't tell me you were on the same radio, I would never know it, over.
Well, I just got through running some tests over on 75 meters with a friend of mine who is a big audiophile, and he's very familiar with the way I sounded on the ICOM. And he says, I think you need to change this, and you change that. So I did, and I made a couple of changes on the EQ. And he says, yeah, he goes, I think you got it now. So anyway, this is the way it is. And he says, it's just a hand microphone. You know, there's only so much you can do with a hand microphone. So at any rate, here I am. Well, on a whistle, it's 100 watts, but anyway. So hopefully this will be all right. And boy, the propagation this morning was just horrible on 40. Man. I mean, I needed to have a magic 8-ball in order to figure out half of what you guys were saying, over.
Well, that's weird, because when you finally did come in, you were perfectly Q5. I never missed a word, over.
Well, that makes me wonder about the receiver on this thing, too. Because excuse me, I got both amplifiers on right now. And you're about an S5, and usually you're an S9 to 5 to 10 over. And I don't even have full receiver gain on the ICOM, so yeah, this radio, it's just what it is. It's an old radio, an old Yaesu.
Well, the Yaesu's never had bad sensitivity, so if something's blown, that's one thing, but I did moon bounce with several of my Yaesu radios and never even used a preamp on 6 meters, so they hear really well, over.
Yeah, well, not this one. I just went through the preamps. That is one of the Achilles tendons on this radio is the preamp. It's real sensitive to overloading or electrostatic discharge, and what you tell is by pushing it and seeing go to the IPO and then going amp 1, amp 2, and see if it actually makes a difference. And it does. So I know the thing's working, but it sure is not giving me very much in signal sensitivity right now. I mean, I'm hearing you, but thank God you got 1,500 watts.
Well, let me show you what 50. Actually, on this band, I'm running about 80 watts. Let me turn the amp off. Okay, there's Barefoot. No, it isn't either. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Here's Barefoot here. That's Barefoot. That's 80 watts, over.
Well, you're a little over an S1. You're about an S1.5. So I'm still hearing you. Doggone it.
Yeah, well, don't feel bad about. I wouldn't pay any attention to the S meter. You're not moving the S meter either, but you're very Q5 armchair copy.
Yeah, well, with your amp on, you're up to an S5 to an S6, and there again, I'm just dealing with trying to get to understand this radio versus the other one, because you were much stronger, much louder with the other one, but. Well, anyway, if it sounds okay, this is what Paul suggested. He goes, try these settings now and talk to whoever you talk to and see if they don't think it sounds for a hand microphone if it's not acceptable. So if you think that I got some punch to the audio and everything, let's see, I'm checking the, I got compression. Actually, I might be a little high on the compression right now. It's hard to say, but if it sounds okay, then we'll run with this, and I'll check in. I'm not sure if I'm going to be there tomorrow. I'll be there. Yeah, that's right. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Yeah, I'll try to be around tomorrow. Are you going to be there tomorrow morning?
Well, I think I will be. I've been getting up quite early. I was up before 7 this morning, and I finally lounged around until about 7:15, 7:30, and got up. But I mean, we were wide awake at that time. Judy was awake as well, but went back to sleep when I got up. I said, don't bother to get up. I was wide awake and my nose was all stuffed up, probably from all the weed eating and mowing and stuff that I'm doing. And it clears up as soon as I stand up, but when I'm laying on my back and I start to wake up and my blood pressure comes up a little bit from the sleep mode, my nose stuffs up. So I was just having a terrible time breathing. And so I just didn't want to make a bunch of snorting noises while she was trying to sleep. So anyway, so I've been up early and I'm not having any difficulty. We're usually hitting the sack while around 10 or 10:15, so getting to bed pretty early as well. All right, well, you sound fine, and if you didn't tell me you're on a different radio, I'd never know. One last question, because I can't remember. When you have the ICOM, when you have your amplifier running, does it have 6 meters in it, or does your amp only stop at 30 megs? Over.
No, it's the TL922, so it's only good to 30 megahertz. Over.
Okay, so you've never had more than 200 watts maximum at any time on 6.
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're just steady as a rock here tonight. I think the conditions to you and John are just spectacular tonight. John's booming in like a ton of bricks, and you're coming in just as well. I don't know, John may have moved the S meter, but when this radio gets any AGC at all, it doesn't sound any different, whether it's S9 or 20 over or S1. It just sounds spectacular. So I can't tell without looking at the meter. I would have guessed you were S7, and I looked up at the meter, and it wasn't moving.
My gosh, really? Well, and that's the 10. Is that the 101? Which one is that?
Yeah, FTDX 101 with the preamp on.
Okay, not the field, but the full-blown version.
Well, no, this is a D. It doesn't have. It just makes 100 watts. The MP is the one that does 200 watts, but I have the 100 watt. I didn't need 200 over.
Well, of course not. You got the amplifier there. You just create problems. Okay, so it's a 101D. Okay. Well. Oh man. Because I'm thinking. I'm thinking, what do I do to replace the 7700? And I don't know. All right, but you're right about. I didn't even realize that that this is 6 meters, and we usually are fade in and out, and we're going. I can't believe how steady it is. My goodness. Yeah, you're right. Oh my goodness. Well, okay. Anyway, well, I'm taking up net time. You got things to do, but all right. Well, if this is all right, we'll go ahead and I'll just count my blessings and be glad I got a radio.
Yeah, I wouldn't even think about it. I could. You've told me that you'd switch radios. I would have never known, much less the power differential of 3 dB. So insignificant to me. You're doing fine, and I wouldn't sweat it. And I would, you know what I was thinking? Maybe the way to do this with a band switch or a switch, an RF switch, manual switch, is just make it a point when you have the switch and you have to go from one state to the other. In other words, if you're trying to drive 222 and you have to throw that switch over here, you also have to drop the power. And if you come back and you throw the switch the other way, you're not going to have anything that's going to be wrong because you're just going to be underdriving the amp. So I don't think you're going to have very much trouble if you keep in mind that when you touch that switch, you should check your power on HF, and that's it. I think you could get the transverter in there, even though you've got to do some keying line stuff and so on. But I don't think you will have any damage. Ken said he does the same thing that I'm suggesting, and he's never had a problem with it. And that little Ukraine thing can be repaired anyway. It just burns up a resistor in there anyway, and Ken's fixed a dozen of them over.
Oh, is that all it is? It's just because I know it was optional to have the pad, and then I got the one that has the TCXO, so it's very stable. It doesn't drift all over the place, and well, I'll just I don't think the ICOM's going to be leaving anytime soon. The maximum wattage it puts out is about 3 to 5 watts, which would be fine to drive the transverter. So if I just pull the radios off and rearrange the cabling, the ICOM's here. I just swapped the radios. I just put it at the end of the desk. So if I can swing everything around and get the cabling put over there, then I'll just use that as a 220 radio for the time being, and so that way then I will be able to start checking in on 222 then.
Yeah, well, we need you. Darren did not check in tonight, so I didn't get any check-ins once I left Oakley at 300 degrees. No other check-ins appeared all the way up to Nevada, and nothing from Nevada tonight either. So I really need all I can get on 220. We only got about 12 or 13 check-ins, over.
Okay, all right. Well, enough said then. I'll get the cabling out there. There's, like you said, the keying. I'll have to get the keying circuit extended down to key the Mirage amplifier, and because I hard key it along with the. Anyway, I'll get everything done and get the cabling run down there. I got between now and next Monday to get it done. I should be able to figure out a way to do that. All right, well, we'll take care of it. I hope hopefully next Monday I'll have it on. If not, then yeah, because it's going to be a pain to try to do it here. I don't have an additional antenna port, so I'll have to come up with another switch and some other things. And no, anyway, all right, enough said. All right, Mike, I'll say 7-3 for now and let you carry on with the net. And thanks, John, for giving me a text message. He let me know that you were here, and I said, well, I'm over on 75. I was busy on 75 trying to get my audio adjusted. So, okay. All right, anyway, but thanks, Mike. Thanks, John. Thanks, everybody out here listening. And we'll hopefully see you in the morning then. K6MYC and the Bozos. Oh, by the way, this is KO6KD776. Okay, there now, I'm official.
Yeah, well, I had you in anyway. Good enough, Bill, 7-3. And if for some reason I don't appear tomorrow, I don't know why I wouldn't, but there's always the possibility that I don't get up in time or I oversleep or something. But lately I haven't had any problems with that. I woke up this morning, like I say, with a stuffy nose and a stiff neck, so I had to get up. That was not comfortable all in bed. 7-3, talk to you. Let's see. I think we've done it. Anybody else in the Sacramento area or Redding, K6MYC? Redding, CW.
Copy there, Bill. And Twain Mark, 7-3.
Okay, 7-3, Phil. WB6GGY, 7-3.
Hey, Phil, I heard you.
And I heard you. 7-3 there, Bill. Talk to you tomorrow, maybe.
Hey, this is great. Yeah, I actually can hear you. All right, good evening, good night. We'll see you in the morning, KO6KD.
7-3, my friend.
Okay, good. I think we're about done here. I'm going to go back into the Bay Area and see if there's anybody left, and we'll be done with the nets here this evening. A little shy of people tonight. Good night, all. Up in your area, and I'm going down to the Bay Area, K6MYC.
KW6S.
KM6SRR.
KW6S, I hear you. And I hear Rob in there also. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, not much happened since we talked earlier on 222. I did talk to Lee, and he said he would be here, but I haven't heard him yet. And otherwise, you sound really good here tonight.
Yeah, you sound pretty good, too. I just moved the antenna down your way. I've got my power line where my solenoid sits in there. But other than that, that's typical, and I'm not going to get rid of that until I go fix that guy's radio. And the way it's going, we're not going to get there soon. Frank's sick as a dog. He got caught in a rainstorm trying to dig his wife out. She slid off her driveway, and it took him 2 hours to get her out of the ditch a couple of days ago, and he's got a roaring cold now.
Yeah, I heard you mentioning that last night. Yeah, I hope that doesn't turn into anything worse than just something he gets over with. Yeah, that's about it. I haven't heard Scott. He's possibly here as well. K6MYC, KW6S.
Well, let's see if Scott's here. Scott, how about it? KB6 Lima Echo Echo. K6MYC. Somebody doubled, say again. I heard a voice.
You doubled, Lee.
Not sure who I doubled with, but KB6LEE, I'm here tonight.
Are you not hearing me, Lee?
No, I'm hearing you just fine. Maybe I doubled with you. Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, you did. What's the Bozo number, Lee? 1090 or something?
1098-1098. The countdown, Bozo.
Okay, we got you in here. Good. 1098. Well, there's 2 or 3 guys with 109s. 1090, 1009, and I just cannot get you guys separated. I get you separated. I know the 3 numbers, but I don't know who's attached to who. That's the problem, Lee. So just forgive me. And with those numbers and the 109s and 1099 and 1098, and oh my God, I do have a 1099. Obviously, that also checks in. So he's the W2 guy, the W2 form, or whatever. And you're the countdown guy. All right. Anyway, good to hear you, Lee. And hopefully you'll have a chance to take a look and see if you can get some signal from the beacon on 432. I'm pretty sure Frank's running the beacon even though he's sick. Pretty sure he has the beacon running on 432. KB6 Lima Echo Echo and KW6S 73s, guys. I'll listen for your final Lee, over.
All right, yeah, no, I didn't get a chance to get out there and start hunting today. We've got a guy coming over, weed whacking and doing some work in the yard and that sort of thing. Hopefully I'm going to get to it tomorrow, though. I'll start playing with the height of the antenna and that sort of thing. And I won't go on and on. I know I've gone on and on before, so... 7-3, Mike, good to hear you. KW6S, K6MYC, KB6LEE, I'm clear.
Okay, KB6 on and on, K6MYC, no sweat. See you later. Back into the Bay Area, K6MYC, Bozo Net.
Good evening, Bozo, 874.
874, that would be Vlad. How are you?
Good evening, Mike. Good signal today. I heard some people had bad conditions between each other, but you sounding good today.
Yeah, you're sounding very good as well. Very nice audio, too. Did you change any radio or something? You sound bassy tonight. Really good.
No, I don't think I changed anything at all. I had this radio for about a month already.
Okay, well, maybe it's just better conditions, and I can hear all the good audio that the radio is making. Sounds excellent, Vlad. Good to hear you, and thanks for checking in here. K6VVP, K6MYC, over.
Well, I got a foot pedal and a headphone. I'm using a headphone mic. I wonder if that's changed anything at all, but possibly, yes.
Yeah, is it a Heil or something else?
No, it's KOSS, the most expensive headset you ever find.
Oh, okay. Koss, huh? That's the German one, isn't it?
I have no idea. They're about $45 and they work really well.
Well, $45 isn't expensive. Most mics cost in excess of $100.
I know, and they sounding pretty good. Somebody recommended online. It used to be Yamaha, and then they stopped producing those Yamahas, and the next recommendation was SB45. That's the Koss one.
Yeah, okay. Well, it sounds good. At least with your voice, it's excellent. So take my word for it. It's punchy, got the right amount of highs and lows, and very good articulation. So I wouldn't change it at this point.
Well, good to know. I'll keep it as is, and I'll be punchy as possible.
Okay, there you go. How was your weather today? Did it warm up at all?
It's surprisingly warm lately. This whole winter and the beginning of the spring, and we're moving towards the summer, and I'm in the avenues, and usually summers are just miserable here, but it's been just so nice and sunny. It's been amazing. I think at this rate it was going to be like San Diego here soon.
Well, they need something good about San Francisco. You know who Mark Twain is, and he said he made a trip one time when in the old days when it was hard to get there, but he made a trip to San Francisco, and he says the coldest winter I ever lived through was the summer of San Francisco.
Well, right, I've heard that before. He was probably living somewhere in the tropics, right?
No, I think he's from Kansas or somewhere. I don't remember where Mark Twain hailed from, but somewhere in the Middle West.
Gotcha. Well, I'm pretty sure he experienced a lot colder winters than in the Midwest.
Oh, yeah, but he was just making a joke about San Francisco. It's miserable in the summer there because it's foggy and cold. Springs and falls are wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. But in the last few years, the climate has been changing towards being a lot nicer summer, so we'll see how this year is.
Yeah, well, that's good. Maybe it will be warmer. We're hoping to warm up here shortly. We were about 72 today, but it cooled off toward the end of the day and got kind of nippy. I got a jacket on here, even sitting in the house in the shack, so I could stand a few more degrees on the warm side. 7-3, Vlad, great to hear you, and good sounding radio with the new mic there. Take care, and we'll look for you on what other band you can get on. 2 meters maybe on Wednesday, huh?
Well, I need to get a transverter for that, then maybe I'll get on 2 meters. And by the way, are you on FT8 at all, or you strictly CW and SSB?
Well, I don't even do CW, but I can. If somebody was to call CQ on CW, I could work them. But I don't do FT8. I can't see the screen, so it's really difficult for me to operate FT8, but I'm not much in favor of the mode anyway, the way it's being used and abused. When the band's wide open and people are running a kilowatts and they're S5 on the meter here, we should be over on sideband talking, over.
I think I doubled with you. I wouldn't mention to say on FT8 VK9DX was here a little earlier today for a few minutes and then was gone.
What was the call? Delta Kilo 9?
Victor Kilo 9, Delta X-ray.
Oh, okay. Yeah, out of Norfolk Island down there. Yeah, that's a good one. I've worked it, of course, but I think I've worked everything in the Pacific on 6, but I'm still lacking a lot of countries. I've got 136 countries worked on 6, but there's a lot of them I have not worked, and probably never will for that matter. But I've got the XCC, and for what it's worth. And I'd like to work more countries, but if they don't come on phone, they're not going to work me, over.
Well, that's a good count. I think I'm at 34 or 35, so I have a long way to go for DXCC. We need a good Europe opening so we can get all these different countries.
Yeah, well, well, you might get that this summer. The e-skip into Europe from your area is quite common. You have to be on top of the band, though, because you never know what day it's going to open, but you'll get European triple hop openings over the pole on e-skip into Europe, over.
Well, yes, I'm waiting for that. I think we need to have SFI over 200 for a few days, and then it start opening over.
Well, it opens without an SFI of 200 on e-skip. But we need F2. If you're talking F2, then we do need the SFI to be over 200. And it's been there a couple of times. And we had Africa in 2-3 days ago. Africa was in for quite a while, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon here, of all things, over.
Oh, that's nice, that's nice. I think I worked last year somebody, and I think I got as far as, I think I have a half a confirmation with France, and I got EA8 confirmed, and that's about it from Europe.
Yeah, well, you might get some more this summer if you can be paying attention. The e-skip opening is somewhere between 8 o'clock in the morning and noon. Somewhere between 8 and noon for e-skip into Europe, over.
8 and noon, good to know. I'll pay attention, of course, unless I'm at work.
Yeah, and the best month, of course, is late May, early June, all through June, and the first couple of days of July, and then it's done, over.
We'll see. I'll pay attention. It would be nice to get the stations from Europe.
Yeah, and of course, if you get F2, then it could open any time. That time frame is that I gave you strictly for triple hop E for the Europeans. But if it's F2, it might be altogether different time frames. Much later, probably in the afternoon, probably noon to 2 o'clock or even later. Alrighty. 7-3 for now, Vlad. Good luck. We'll look for you, and maybe one of these days you can find a transverter for 2 meters.
I might 7-3 one of those days. I get a transverter for 2.
Take care. Anybody else in the Bay Area? K6MYC Bozo Net.
WA6AXX.
712.
Okay, I hear you, Curie. Stand by, Curie. And I hear you again, Ed, WA6AXX. Go ahead.
Okay, I think I just checked in on 220. I haven't checked in here yet, right?
That's right, you have not, but you are now.
Okay, very good. All right, I'll just listen for a little bit. WA6AXX, 7-3.
7-3. And over to you, Kerry. Good to hear you here. KC5DTU, K6MYC.
Good evening, Michael. Boy, you're busy there. You were pointing north. You're starting the 6-meter net a little earlier, aren't you?
Well, it was early tonight because we didn't get anybody on 222 from Oakley all the way north. Nothing in Sacramento, nothing out of Nevada. So we were on 6 quite early, yes.
Yeah, roger that. Okay. Well, I heard Rob in there, too, KM6SRR, KC5DTU. Good evening, Rob.
Good evening, Kerry. KC5DTU, KM6SR. Yep, just standing here, or sitting here listening, over.
Yeah, roger. Okay, good to hear you. And, Michael, you doing okay up on the hill there?
Yeah, we're hanging in there. I mowed today. I've never seen so much grass. I was mowing down in the canyon where my burning pile is, in that area, and on the hillsides just below the driveway. And my God, in all the years I've been mowing that same area, 23 years I've been mowing that area, and I've never seen so much grass, over.
Roger that. Well, I spend my day getting ready for the doctor. I had to run into a lab, this lab test, and I got that perverted letter from DMV saying I got to renew my license, so I went over there. Boy, what a mess.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you probably had to wait blew 3 or 4 hours at the DMV, didn't you?
I chickened out. The line was out the door and around the corner.
Yeah, you're better off to get an appointment, and then you only have to wait 2 hours.
Yeah, roger that. Well, Laura is singing the same tune, so I guess I'll get an appointment and try and get in there.
Yeah, either that or go to a different one. a different DMV. The one in Mariposa is pretty good, I guess. Over.
Yeah, roger that. Well, I don't think I want to travel that far, but but I'm going to have to just go ahead and schedule an appointment. But anyhow, I'm here and checking in. So, and as I said, have some free days, so we'll try and make the trek up the hill there this week.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I would, I'll tell you what, when you get online, you might find a DMV in some other place that's not so busy. Frank goes somewhere. I think he went to Mariposa, and but he's up closer there already. He's already just short of Oakhurst and Clover and Coarse Gold. But there are some other DMVs. There might be one in Madera, and there might be one south of you there in like Visalia or someplace that might be just as easy. Over.
Well, having lived in Madera, I know that the one in Madera is just as bad. So, so I'm going to see how an appointment will work out and when I can get one. So I'll try that. I still got a ways to go. Got all the way to July before it expires.
Yeah, and then you've got a little grace period in there anyway. Okay, so you're in good shape. Well, sounds good, and we'll be happy to see you if you can get up this way. We don't have any other visitors this week. Frank's sick with a very, very bad cold, so he's probably not even going to be here the rest of the week. Over.
Oh boy, roger that. Okay, well if you talk to him, tell him I said get better, and we'll be talking to you.
Yeah, okay. 7-3 for now, Kerry. Thanks for checking in here. Good to hear you. We'll look for you tomorrow night on 1296 if you can make it. KC5DTU, K6MYC.
And also, Rob, KC5DTU.
Yeah, I double with you. Go ahead, Rob.
Okay, Kerry, good to hear you there. KC5DTU, KM6SR. Yep, I can finally make a 1296 net, I guess, tomorrow. Over.
Me too.
Yeah, there you go. And I guess Ken fixed your amplifier, huh, Rob?
Yep. He was so busy, but he got right on and got it right back to me. So, yeah, the heavy wire there from the one of the connectors got pulled off the board there. So it was going through the case, and the case was kind of flexible, so it didn't hold it very well. Over.
Yeah, no, I knew what happened. All right, well, I'm glad he fixed it. He was anxious to get you back going again, so that works, and he says it won't happen again.
Nope, I put a little boom bar in there, and he added another screw to make it even sturdier. So we've got, and I won't move that thing without disconnecting the cables. Over.
Yeah, okay. Very good. Let me go back into the Bay Area for just a second, see if there's anybody left here. 290, 285, something like this. We're missing quite a few people in the Bay Area here. 270, no, that's not right. Let's go up a little bit here. Okay, Bay Area, last call for the Bay Area, Bozo Net, 6 meters, K6MYC, over. Ed, I got terrible power line noise here, or solar noise, so if there's somebody in there calling, anybody hear anybody, please let me know. I can't hear anybody at the moment. K6MYC standing by.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anybody. Haven't heard anybody on the antenna, so negative. WA6A.
Okay, thanks, Ed. Well, I don't know, Rob. What do you think? I think we're done, aren't we?
Yep, I guess so. I'm gonna have to listen to the net because I did the net control for the Aries net tonight, and I was filling out all the paperwork for the form with everybody checking in. And by the time I got over here, you were half done with the net. Over.
Well, I think I got about 20, 21, something like that. I could give you some of them, but you're probably better off listening to the net or asking maybe Aaron wrote the numbers, wrote the guys down. Over. I don't hear Aaron in there. All right. Well, I'm going to say 73s and get out of here. Long overs with the long 222 net as well. 73s to everybody, and we'll see whoever can make it. And look for some newbies with AEs now on 1296 tomorrow. K6 MYC. Go ahead, Rob.
Okay, Mike. Yeah, I spent most of the day out working on the driveway. I should have done it yesterday, but I was helping Marcus. But it's still sort of wet enough, but boy, that's a lot of work, a lot of hand work, too, smoothing things out, because I can't quite get the tractor to do everything I want to do. Worst thing is you can't move the stuff sideways on the driveway there, over.
Yeah, I hear you.
We'll say 73 is Mike, K6, K6 MYC, KM6SR.
Okay, good night, Rob. Good night to you, Aaron, if you're listening in the background, and anybody else that's still here. K6 MYC.
Yep, I'm here, and I didn't write the numbers down because I'm busy prepping for something else, so I've been just listening in the background. K6USY.
Okay. Okay, well, 7-3s, guys, and we'll see you later, K6 MYC.
Alrighty, and good night to the couple people still listening on YouTube. K6USY DMO6.